Well, hello everybody. How you doing this Good Friday evening? Because it is Good Friday, and if you're one of those many who, pretty much, believe, which I do, then you won't be too hesitant not to say it. But I am. But it's good to have you here, and hopefully everything is going well with you. Because today I am going to be doing a review of a movie that recently came out. And just to give you a heads up on this, I have not been to the theater in like what is like two, no, nearly 5 months. And I think it comes from the fact that Hollywood is slacking or lack thereof because there's nothing out there for me to watch that I will enjoy. But with that being said, I'm reviewing the film that stars Ryan Gosling, Project Hail Mary. It's a movie that's based on a book by I think Adam Were. Yeah, Adam Were, and basically it's a sci-fi film. I don't know exactly the terms of when it's set. I'm thinking maybe in our modern time or a little bit future, more like 10 or 20 years from now, because it has that the Martian kind of vibe, which surprisingly the story that's being told in that film takes place in this year, believe it or not, this decade, which is crazy. But anyway, the movie I went to go see this afternoon, which was around noon, and I've been hearing big vibes by everyone. For certain people, you know, mainly Kevin Lambert from Tampa headquarters and various others. And like I say, it's been getting pretty good buzz in terms of what it is. But all I can tell you is that the whole purpose of all that, you have to see it like the Matrix for yourself. You got to go see it for yourself to see if it's even worth anything. So let me just say, first off, before I get started, like I say, get back into the ramifications of why I'm, talking about this. Hollywood seems dead to me, or is extremely dead. But then again, you can't blame Hollywood too much because, well, no, yet you can because Hollywood seems to be sticking their finger into everything and effing it up. But the bottom line is that this film is one of those films that you hear about and it runs the gash of being what it says it's going to be. I'm all for it in terms of I'll give it a try one time, and then if it's what it is, so be it. Well, I'm here to say that I am without a doubt so not disappointed by this film. This film was an eye opening experience for me. I was not expecting what was coming for me. And I just say, really, if you look at this, I'm going to get some of these kind of things out the way real quick. This has Oscar nomination written all over this film. It's splattered all over this film because it's so well directed. I mean, it's directed by the guys who gave us the Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse, which was a good film too, good animation. I mean, and they got their hands into this, and they did a very good job in telling a good, solid story about saving the planet or the planets in the solar system from the sun being burnt out or going out by some organism that's kind of leeching off. I don't want to give too much away, but basically, you watch this film, it's got a lot of the so-called vibes of films I've seen before. Like I say, I've seen the hint for what I mentioned before, The Martian. I definitely feel Interstellar in this film. I can feel a little bit of the old films like 2001: A Space Odyssey embedded in here, and various other films. I mean, I can feel that. I can see that. I can tell the effects of it. It's there. But the thing about that is, it's its own unique signature. It's its own unique of what it is. It's not. driven by someone else, by anyone saying that you got to go see it and see if it's going to be worth anything or whatever, and it's there. So that is the rub on that. Now, the thing that threw there was, I'm going to tell you this firsthand that this is something that I was not expecting before, and this shows how invested you are when you watch this film. I was not expecting to get so emotional over a rock. Okay, you hear me? A rock. I actually gave two jack shits about a rock. Okay, an anthropomorphic rock. All right. Now, who can say that you would actually fall in love and care for something that we see every day in our everyday lives and take to like, wow, you feel that way about something that we see every day in our human existence? But it's a rock. A rock got me emotional. I actually got emotional watching this film. Now, I will say the beginning of this film is kind of a standard, whatever. And it's the thing about it is this film is told in non-linear passage. It's back and forth with flashbacks and whatever. And the beginning of it, it seems like it was kind of like, I've seen it before, it's doing this. But once it gets going into what is telling the story of what's going on with Ryan Gosling's character, Grace, you really start to invest yourself in him trying to project out there what he can do to solve Earth's, the solar system's crisis with the sun being basically eaten away, you know. So you find out what the Grace's character really is. I mean, he even admits himself that he's not, brave or anything like that, but he is this. But when he meets up with this Rock character, and he gives him the name Rocky, it's very interesting knowing that, okay, it's a rock, it's moving around, like a puppy or anything that's got emotion. And that's the thing about it, it doesn't have no facial or anything to make it seem like it's being affected by emotion. You just realize like its body movement tells you what it's feeling. And interesting enough, this this particular character was done basically through puppetry. It wasn't computer graphics. Now, some things were done with computer graphics in order to enhance it when it's moved around, but basically, when it's in a stationary area, it's basically all puppet. It's basically a marionette. So I'm like, wow, really old school fashion filmmaking there, which I think that's what they need to do. Sometimes you need the old fashioned in order to really hone in the effect or the emotion of what the characters that you're looking at are given to you. Because, like I said before, Ryan Gosling, let me start with him. Ryan Gosling, wow, dude, he deserves an Oscar nomination for real. He does. He is really. I mean, I've seen before act and everything, and he's good, and it's I can say, but I think he'd be overshadowed by others that he stars with. But this one, it's so much a castaway, as I say, the Martian kind of motif where it's just by him, but he's with somebody that gives him a sense of I'm alive and I'm not by myself. And that's the one thing I love about this is that in the film he loses some people, but he gains someone else. And as I said before, to know that you get emotional, you get emotional with a character. And I'm gonna tell you something. I literally cried in this film. I did not expect that to happen. I was like, wow, really? I'm crying over Rock. I'm getting emotional over Rock. But that proves how well made the story and the people who behind the story really did their job well. They made sure that you are invested in the characters in the story. Something that I wish Hollywood do more of in terms of catching your eye. I mean, you ain't got to have a whole lot of glitz and glamour and the big bells and whistles to grab an audience. All you need is a good character-driven um, motif, and everything will work out, and everything will follow through. Now, granted, I've said this before, and I'll say it again. I'm not a big fan of Barbie, the movie. And some people come down on me like a ton of bricks about this. I'm like, yeah, well, go fuck yourself. That's my opinion. I'm sticking with it. I watched it, and for the back, hey, it's well made, but I, for myself, didn't like it. I can care less about it. So, hey, there you go. But seeing Ryan Gosling in this film, I can see why he was a perfect choice for this film. He's just giving out a lot of depth and a lot of emotion and a lot of, and the funny thing, and again, this is the weird thing. I keep mentioning The Martian. Here's the thing about it: it's written by Drew Goddard, who wrote the screenplay for The Martian, because there's a lot of funny moments, certain dialogue in this film, and it's beautiful though that humor balances out from the drama, the emotion that's in this film. Because I guarantee you, when you got emotion, so much of it, how can you come back from that? And the humor helps balance it out to bring it, like give it. It's like a sigh of relief for the audience when they're in that emotional state. And it's kind of like, okay, I'm back, and it's like it's funny again. So knowing that this film has opened my eyes to the fact that maybe there's a chance for Hollywood, but I'm not holding my tongue. I'm not holding my breath on that. I mean, this is, like I say, this is the first film I've seen this year. In fact, this is the first film this year that I've seen. I've seen nothing else. Everything is like, no bother. What's the point? But this one here, definitely worth my time, definitely worth the effort. And anyone who chooses to go see it, I'm suggesting you go see it, because you won't be bored. You will be invested with the characters, the ones on Earth and in space where Ryan Gosling and Rocky is located at. You will invest in that. And thankfully, in the movie, there are things that happen where it's like, hey, nothing's gonna go right off the bat. Something bad's gonna happen no matter what you do. So, am I recommending this film wholeheartedly? Wholeheartedly, I'm recommending this film. I'm giving it at least, I'm gonna say at least 4.5 stars, because I think it deserves it. I think, in fact, I think I'll give it like a 8.5 in terms of what it is, because it's fresh. Even though it's based on something else, it's fresh and it's unique in what its design is, and it's like I say, it's a beautiful made film. I hope that although I'm not, like, again, I hold my breath on that. Come Oscar time, this film does get the accolades that it deserves. But hey, Hollywood, what can you do about it? But yes, Project Hail Mary. This film, yes, it's up there. It's definitely up there, and I highly recommend it. And I'm so glad that I got a chance to see something, because there's some other films coming out this year that I might be seeing, but then again, may not, because not, like I say, not worth the time. But thankfully, this one was worth the time. And Kevin, thank you, sir, my ginger brother. Thank you for recommending this. I told you that you'll see when I put it up. Not oh my God, I just made it. Sorry, scrap that. When I upload the video, you'll see what I'm talking about, and now you get the gist of it. So, yes, thank you for recommending this, and anybody else who's watching this, I recommend this highly. check it out for yourself and hopefully enjoy it. If you do, let somebody know, recommend it to someone else because hey, it's worth the time. This definitely is. But that being said, I have something coming up tomorrow with Artistic Lizard Productions, and we're going to be discussing The Mummy Returns on his channel. I'm not really sure if Monster Report guy is going to be there. If he is, Nick Adams. If he is, great. If he's not, well, hey, it's just me and Brandon. Um, Other than that, I don't have anything else. I think I will be joining. No, in fact, come next Saturday, I will be doing a review on with the sci-fi. Sci-fi Century and the Film Fanatic when we discussed Blood In, Blood Out. It's a 1993 film that is talking about the Chicano lifestyle back in the early 90s and how three friends came up to be where they're at now. So, but other than that, there's not too many things coming up that I'm going to be doing. I mean, I know I will be doing something with Kevin Lambert next following week, but I don't know exactly what it is, but we'll wait and see. But with that being said, all I can say is, people, go see Project Hail Mary. And like I say, since this is Good Friday, Easter's coming up, I'll just leave you with this by saying, y'all take care. Please be patient. And always keep the faith alive. All right? Y'all take care now.